Peter, are you in a budget video? Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you our November 2020 budget report, showing you all the income that we brought in this month and how we allocated and spent every dollar. Also, we met a really big milestone this month in our net worth, so I'm excited to show that to you guys as well. Today's video is a little bit different. Normally I do these videos in like my fancy YouTube studio, but mom life, I need to get this video up tomorrow, and it's just been really hard filming a whole bunch of videos with this sweet little baby that I have here. So today Peter, my 6-month-old baby, is joining this budget report video. Huh, Pete? He has a tooth coming in, another tooth coming in, and so sleep has been a little hard, so naps have been a little hard, so that's why I can't really get a whole lot done during naps right now, and that's okay. So he's just gonna hang out with us. So before we get into this budget report, I wanna give you guys some context. Again, as you can tell, I have a baby, so we are a household of three. My family lives in Portland, Oregon, and yeah, we own our home, and this is what our budget looks like. Also, if you want to get the budget template that I'm using today, you can get that on my shop. I'll have a link to that down below so you can check it out there. And it's an instant download. It works in Excel, Google Sheets, Numbers, any sort of platform that you use. So this is the budget template that I used every single month that I made, and I love it. So you can check it out with the link below. All right, so let's get into it. First, we have our income section, which I have blocked out my husband's income, my day job income, and then my business income. So I have a day job where I work 5 hours a week for an employer at like whenever I want to work. So it's really chill, and yeah, but I do technically work for an employer, but the majority of my income comes from my business here on YouTube and everything like that. And then my husband works in marketing outside the home. So, well, he works outside the home, but right now working from home, as I'm sure most of you guys are as well. So all that together, we were planning to bring home $6,690, and we actually brought home $6,693.68. So we use a zero-based budget, which means all of our income equals all of our expenses or savings, all our money out. So now to show you where we spent all that money in our budget. Where did we spend all that money? Okay, let's take a look. All right, the first line item that we have here is our tithe. We are Christians and we believe in giving to our church and other organizations. So that's always going to be first priority in our budget. So the first line that we have here is our tithe, and this is what we give to our church, which is $675. And one sec, let me get Peter a little toy here. Okay, I'm gonna have you sit down and you can play with your tissue box. Yay! Also, if you guys have kids, I would highly recommend the Love Every play kits. They are our absolute favorite toys. Peter loves them. Look at this cute little magic tissue box. Okay, side note, I have a link to them down below. We are obsessed with their play kits. We love them. Okay, next we have is African New Life. We sponsored 2 children in Rwanda with African New Life, and so that is $78 a month. Next we have is missions, and that is an extra missions organization that we support at $40. Then we have our mortgage. So this payment makes up our principal, interest, PMI, insurance, taxes, everything, and that is $23.9860 as per usual. Next we have is our HOA. We live in a neighborhood with the homeowners association, so that is $121.46 each month. Then we have water and sewer. That was at $83.22. And then natural gas was $29.57. So this is what we use for heating our home as well as any sort of cooking. Oh, look, you pulled the tissue out. Good job. Next we have is trash. We pay our trash every other month, so this was a month that we didn't have to pay trash. Then we have electric, and I budgeted $40, ended up spending $46.61. So this is just leaving on any sort of lights or anything plugged in our house is for electric. Then we have internet, which is at a standard $49.95 each month. Then phones, this is for my cell phone and my husband's cell phone at $117.33. And then we have insurance. This is for our car insurance. We drive a 2013 RAV4 and Corolla, both are 2013. So that is $112.64, and this has actually gone down even more recently. Because of the pandemic, we haven't driven like at all, so we actually adjusted our insurance to only account for the miles that we actually drive, which is so few that it lowered our cost for insurance, which is really great. Next we have is life insurance. So my husband and I each have a life insurance policy, and it's just a term policy, but that is $52.89 each month for our life insurance. Then we have groceries at $354.75, and we budgeted $300, so we definitely went quite a bit over on groceries. For the month of December, I'm starting to do $350 for groceries. Now that my son Peter is 6 months, he's now starting to do more solids, and so I'm actually making purees at home with this machine called the Baby Cook. It's freaking amazing. I will leave a link to it below as well, but we therefore are buying more groceries because we now feed him. Before we've just been breastfeeding, so we haven't had any additional like food costs for him. Next we have is eating out, which we budgeted $100 and ended up at $95.57. Then we have gas, and so this is just gas for our cars. We budgeted $40 and we spent $26.15, which means we filled up one car once, which again, we don't drive anywhere because we're all working from home. Before pandemic, we'd spend at least like $150 a month on gas, and so this has been a nice change to our budget since March. Then we have college. We put $200 a month into our son's 529 plan to save for college, so that got funded as well. And then we also put $50 into a brokerage account for him, and our idea is we want to use this to be able to gift him things in the future, like help with things like helping him with his first car, or even like his wedding, or assisting with like a down payment on a house. And again, like helping him with all these things, not just us giving it to him, but being able to be like, if you save this much, like we'll also contribute. So we put $50 a month into that brokerage account, which is exciting. Next we have is our extra mortgage payment. So this is the big financial goal that we're working on right now, is putting extra to our mortgage. We would love, since we have PMI right now on our house, we had to do PMI, private mortgage insurance, because we had less than 20% down on our house when we bought it in September 2019. And we would just love to not have PMI. It costs us an extra $95 each month, which isn't much, but it would be nice not to have. So our goal right now is to work on paying off our mortgage to at least get to 20% equity in our home, and at that point PMI will just automatically drop off after we get an appraisal. So right now we're working on putting extra mortgage principal payments. So we budgeted $571.41. Here's what happened. I put $300 to a principal payment, and then I tried to go make another one for like the additional money that we had left over, and my bank told me that I couldn't make an additional mortgage principal payment past like the 18th of the month or something like that. So therefore I only put $300 to the extra principal payment, and I then have a mortgage carryover. As you see, the next line item here is like what else was left over that I was planning to put, but I wasn't able to because the bank wouldn't let me, which is so weird. So I carried those funds over to December, and now that we're in December, I already made that extra payment to the principal for a mortgage. So there was a small amount this month, but that's okay. We had a lower income month too. Next we have is Disney Plus. We love our Disney Plus subscription, so that we pay annually, so that renewed this month, so $69.99. And then miscellaneous, we budgeted $100 and we did $222.08. So I started something new for December. I don't think I did it in November. Yeah, just December. I started something new of having a gifts fund, because I realized that now that we're in the season of friends having babies and weddings and things like that, like we spend more on gifts. And so we have spent a lot of that in like the miscellaneous category, which I don't love doing in miscellaneous. So that's going to be adjusted going forward. But yes, we definitely went a lot over on miscellaneous this month. Okay, so that was all of our normal expenses. So now moving into our savings section, which is what I love, because I just love saving money. So here we go. The first line item that we have here is our emergency fund. We have a 6-month emergency fund of a little over $25,000. It gains a little bit of interest in our high yield savings account, but that is a pretty low number these days, as rates have been pretty low. Oh, do you want to show your friends what you can do? You got a nice tissue in your mouth? Wow, you're being such a good boy playing. Okay, the next line item that we have is Jacob. Jacob gets $150 of personal spending money each month. We used to each get $100, but he asked for more, and I thought that was fair, so bumped his up to $150. And he spent $95.21 this month. So we like having this in like the savings section because then it can roll over month. And if we decide that we want to buy something larger, then we have the funds available because it rolls over. So he now has $105.05 in his account. Then I now get $75. I used to get $100, but again, I just haven't been spending very much of my personal spending money, so I figured it would probably be better to just give Jacob a little more, and I didn't really need that much. So I have $75. I spent a whole lot though. I spent $463.99. The big things here were family photos. I really wanted to get family photos since, you know, pandemic baby. We didn't get to do maternity photos, which I really wanted. So we did family photos recently, and so that cost $200. I also went and got a massage for myself, which was very nice. And those were really the bulk of my spending money. So now I have $550 in my fund. Next we have is extra giving. We love having an extra giving fund because it allows us to say yes to giving opportunities if they come up. So we put $50 a month into this extra giving fund. And this month we actually started the month in negative. So we're now at $5.40 in that fund. Next we have is vacation, which we were putting $400 a month into. You know, guys, we were planning to, I already booked a trip to go to Hawaii in May, but I can cancel the flight at no charge, so I'm probably going to have to cancel it because I don't see that happening in May, unfortunately. So we now have $2,076 sitting in our vacation fund. Hopefully we'll get to take a vacation soon. Petey, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Disneyland? You want to go to Hawaii? Where do you want to go? Okay, next we have is Christmas. We put $150 into our Christmas fund, and we spend $73.13 as we're starting to buy gifts for family and friends. So the total that we now have in our Christmas fund is $676.87. We also use our cashback rewards from our credit card to fund our Christmas fund. So we use this and that cashback. So we do have more than that we will be spending for Christmas this year. Next we have is car maintenance. We put $75 a month into for any sort of repairs that we need to make. Jacob was doing a little project, so we spent $107, and we now have $46 in that fund. Next we have is house maintenance at $350 a month. This month we spent $233.85 on house maintenance costs, so we now have $16.85. That's a big part of being a homeowner, is that you gotta fix things when they come up. So we just had a little something that we had to repair. Honestly, at this point, I don't remember what it is without going back to look at all the detail. Then we have $100 towards our household fund, and this is what we use to get like toilet paper, soap, things like that. We actually did have to buy a lot of hand soap. We are in another lockdown here in Oregon, and so things were going fast. We actually just needed hand soap, but it was hard to find, so we had to like buy it in bulk on Amazon. So we spent $100.11, and we now will not need hand soap for at least another year. And we now have negative $65 in this fund, which I don't love, but yeah, that is what it is. Next we have is the babies fund. Peter, this is your money. This is your money. Okay, we put $100 a month into a baby fund to cover any sort of baby expenses like clothing, diapers, toys, things like that. So we put $100 into it, and we spent $125.52, and we now have $161.60 left over. So what do you want? Do you need more clothes? Do you need more toys? What's the baby need? Okay, so that is the end of our budget, but there's more to share. But our budget here has a zero balance. As you can see, all of our income equals all of our expenses. So it's a zero-based budget, and it is complete for the month. So next I want to show you guys our net worth update, which is so exciting. Okay, so net worth is your assets minus your liabilities, or the things that you own minus the things that you owe. So first we have all the things that we own. So first off is retirement. We have $71,511 in retirement savings, which is exciting. If you guys have been watching the stock market this month, November was an amazing month. We had an increase of over $8,000 in our retirement. funds, and $73.90 was just market gain, which was awesome. Next we have is our house. So I track our house value through Zillow, which isn't the most accurate, but it gives like some sort of basis, and it was actually pretty accurate when we bought our house a year ago. So it looks like our house value went up to be $474,000. We bought it last September for $428,000, which is crazy. So it went up $5,000. Next we have is our emergency fund. I have most of our emergency fund in the high yield savings account, so that is $22,163. And then I have, sorry, I'm trying to do this with like so many hands here. Okay, next we have is just extra cash in all of our sinking funds, which is $52.42. And then we have Peter's 529 account, which is at $12.81. So Peter already has some money set aside for college. Then we have our brokerage account for Peter, and that is at $32.68. We're kind of using that as the remainder of our emergency fund, and then we're putting, the $50 into it because we had to have $3,000 to open it. So that's why we have that. Next we have a stocks. I have individual stocks that are worth $14.98. And then our HSA, we have a health savings account, and that is at $1343.89. Then we have our Corolla, which I look at the value of our cars every month with Kelley Blue Book and track their value. So then that our Corolla is $84.72 and the RAV4 is $14,590. So all of our assets, all of the things that we own, the grand total is $603,371. And then the only liability that we have, the only thing that we owe money on, is our mortgage balance. And that now is $394,493.69. So we had a decrease in our mortgage balance of $972. So therefore, our net worth hit a major milestone of being $208,877. So we now have over $200,000 net worth. Is that so exciting? You're doing such a good job, buddy. I'm almost done. So I just have an extra cell down here that now calculates the dollar equity that we have in our house. So we now have $79,500 of equity in our home, and that percentage is 16.77% equity. So again, once we get to like that 20% equity, then we can drop PMI. So that's the big goal right now that I'm tracking. So that is our entire update for you guys for November 2020. We had a great budget month and just super excited to reach this new net worth milestone. So as the baby's getting a little fussy, I'm going to sign off. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I know it was a lot more casual, let me know. And also don't forget, if you want to get this budget template, I will have a link to it in the description box. You can check it out there. See, Peter, say thanks so much for watching. Say thank you for watching. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Bye. I'm on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go out.